On this episode of China Uncensored, Terracotta warriors are vandalized. I'm giving that a thumbs down. I know what I don't want at my funeral. And finally, Chinese prisons love fashion. Manufacturing jobs. This is China Uncensored. Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your host, Chris Chappell. You've probably seen photos of these guys, the Terracotta warriors. They survived in an underground tomb for 2,000 years. 10 of them were on loan to a museum in Philadelphia, and this week, some idiot American snapped off one of their thumbs for a souvenir. He was attending an ugly sweater party at the museum when he snuck into the Terracotta Warriors exhibit. That's not a joke, that's what he was actually doing. It was almost the perfect crime. If only he hadn't left his fingerprints on the statue. And if only there weren't surveillance footage. And if only he hadn't sent photos of the thumb he stole to friends on Snapchat. The man was arrested by the FBI and is now out on bail. He faces a 10-year prison sentence for defacing the $4.5 million statue. I guess he should have used that extra thumb to hitchhike out of the country. The Terracotta Warriors exhibit will be opened until early March. Critics give it one thumb up and one thumb off. Now, even more outrage, this time from me. They're cracking down on funeral strippers. Apparently, in some rural communities, it's believed that the more people that attend a funeral, the more honor for the deceased. How do you get more people? Well, traditionally, people hired Chinese opera singers to draw a crowd. But this is modern China, so now the answer is obviously strippers. According to the Global Times, China's Ministry of Culture has set up a special hotline for the public to report any funeral misdeeds. And you know what? In this instance, I have complete faith that local CCP authorities will quickly and personally get to the bottom of this issue. Moving on to international news, Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte, the man who once vowed to personally ride a jet ski to plant a Filipino flag on Chinese-occupied islands in the South China Sea. But that was 2 years ago, and boy have things changed. Earlier this week, President Duterte made waves when he joked that the Philippines should become a province of China. It was part of his speech at the Chinese-Filipino Business Club.
Gusto ninyo, gawain na lang ninyo kaming province, Fujian, pati Philippine province of China.
He went on to add, and once again, I'm not joking, quote, "If China were a woman, I'd woo her." And really, what woman wouldn't want to be wooed by Duterte? Am I right, ladies? Duterte then brought up the controversial military installations that China is building in the South China Sea. He told people to relax. Those have nothing to do with the Philippines.
It's really intended against those who the Chinese think would destroy them, and that is America. Wala tayong kasali dyan.
Yes, clap for that. And the Financial Times has interviewed Peter Humphrey, who spent 23 months in a Chinese prison. Humphrey used to be a British private investigator, but he was jailed in 2014 and kept in a small cage. And that's where he learned all about fashion. I mean, just look at this little ensemble he wore to his mandatory state-run TV confession. According to Humphrey, the prison was a business doing manufacturing jobs for companies. Mornings, afternoons, and often during the afternoon lunch nap, prisoners labored in the common room. Humphrey said that what they made included packaging for fashion retailers H&M and C&A. Nothing's more fashionable than slave labor. Of course, both H&M and C&A say in their supplier code and conduct agreements that prison labor is not okay. And of course, the companies are investigating the matter now. But maybe they should have been wondering why it's so cheap to get things made in China. So what do you think? Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching this episode of China Uncensored. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time. Well, the Chinese Communist Party is certainly rotten, but you know what never goes bad? Food from Thrive Life. Thrive Life sells freeze-dried meals that stay fresh. And if you order through the link in the description below, China Uncensored gets a cut. I wouldn't ask you to eat their food if I didn't also personally love it. So support your belly and China Uncensored by buying some delicious food from Thrive Life. The link is below.